Forget trying to keep up with AI. It's moving too fast. It's time to think differently about it. Welcome to the AI Readiness Project, hosted by 𝗪𝗆 and 𝗪𝗵𝘆. They're here to help you build the mindset to thrive in an AI-driven world and prepare for what's next. Forget trying.
Yeah, it's a professional operation.
We love our Suno theme song so much. We like to replay just an extra 5 seconds of it each time.
We'll just keep that running while we talk.
How are you?
Oh man, I'm good. We'll talk about this in a bit, but there is a new acceleration happening. I feel like one happened in March, April, the beginning of April. I think there's another one happening now, and it's discombobulating.
It is discombobulating.
And we're gonna need to combobulate and recombobulate.
I have uncombobulated recently.
Really?
Which I think that means, wait, does that mean I'm less or more combobulated?
I don't know.
Well, okay. So this is the AI Readiness Project podcast, everybody. Welcome.
It is. Hello. 𝗪𝗆
And
Murphy.
I'm 𝗪𝗵𝘆. That's 𝗪𝗆. We have an exciting guest today, Tracey, the safety lady Hawkins. And if you have not experienced her, if you've not crossed paths with her yet, this is your opportunity to do so, and you're going to be smarter for it. You're going to have a really good cybersecurity person in your back pocket who you can bring to the groups that you work with. Tracey caught our attention and our hearts during AI Festivus at the end of last year when she came on as one of our 34 speakers and helped us grapple with some AI safety and security issues without being, she's like the least... She's not fear-mongering. She's very supportive. It's all good. It's all for the good of the order. She wants us to be able to do the things that we want to do with AI without making ourselves and other people vulnerable in the process.
Well, and listen, I think we'll talk about this when we bring Tracey on, but we like playing with the toys, and we like getting other people to play with the toys. And it's very easy to sometimes forget that playing with the toys could be bad if you don't play with the toys right. And so I think it's always a good reminder. You know, I said last night on my live that I think it was actually a passive aggressive move by you to make me feel bad about what I'm not doing in safety and security. So, you know.
Okay. Well, then what is it to myself? Like, how many times do we need to have cybersecurity speakers and friends in our lives before we actually stop using our dog's name as every password for every single thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Clear.
You might not want to say that on a podcast, but you know, whatever. Today might be a good day to change it.
JK, just kidding.
Oh man, well, let's jump in. So how ready are we for AI this week? You want to go first? You want me to go first? How ready are you?
Well, I think I should go first because I am in such a different place about this right now. Like when you talk about acceleration, I like had this freak out because I'm going back to like November 2022 right now in my relationship with AI and looking at how things got to where they are right now. And the reason why this has come up and why I've started doing this, like, I don't know, like forensic retracing of my steps is that the fact with ChatGPT being so unreliable recently, what I noticed about myself is that a while ago, I was kind of like, well, ChatGPT is just kind of like having a bad day. It's just kind of being dumb. They released something new. They changed the temperature on something, whatever. But now I think because of the way that I integrated AI into my life, now I feel like I have somebody dumb living in my head because So when I started using AI, it was because I had long COVID and I couldn't think. And so I immediately became codependent. Immediate, like day one, first prompt. It was like me and my bestie, me. This was like my extended brain. I never had the feeling very separate from it.
Yep.
You know, having been taught prompt engineering, that helped a little bit because that word just sounded like intimidating and cold and gave me a distance from it. So I was like, no, I need to talk to it in a very particular way, robotic, right? Like not relationally. But really, it's part of my brain now. And I could say other AI, other frontier models, but specifically ChatGPT, because I poured so much into building my relationship with ChatGPT, right?
Yep.
All the custom GPTs, all the projects, my voice,
it's got memory now. So like I feel like that memory thing it's funny. I used to switch models a lot, and I actually now think about it, I'm like, oh, do I really want to go to Claude? Because I think I want this conversation in my history. Like
exactly.
That's a barrier to switching.
That's a huge barrier to switching, and they're brilliant for putting it in there. But so lately, when I've like been lacking my confidence and my go-to approach to life, to doing life, I started to wonder, like, do I rely too much on AI? You know, is it a superpower? What if they take it away, right? I feel like I was a person who had a superpower and they took the superpower away, and now I'm trying to like fill in the gaps with like other AI systems. The desperation, the desperate measures I'm taking to make up for ChatGPT being dumb now, like just squandering Manus tokens to pay $199 a month to ask it, like, what should I have for dinner? And so on and so forth. So it's like that scene in Her where the operating system goes away.
Oh.
Right? So I also feel grief. I'm also sad. Like, where did my friend go? Where did my partner in crime go? And then I feel disloyal when I'm like doing these workarounds. So I'm not prepared for this acceleration you're about to speak of, because I'm still trying to figure out really truly what my relationship with AI is and what does happen if it ever goes away.
Yeah. Well, there's the go away thing. You also talk. I'm getting an echo all of a sudden.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if that's from Tracey. Hang on, let me mute her mic. Hello, hello.
Sounds good now.
I think it's coming from you.
Oh, is it coming from me?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Check and see if you're on your right microphone.
Good question. Sorry everybody about this. I'm on my Shure mic. Microphone Shure. Speakers.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I'm still getting an echo.
How's this?
Hello? That's better. Okay.
No.
No? Not good on your side?
Echo cancellation. Talk again.
Hello, hello. No, I'm still getting
Sounds fine. You're still getting it. Do you remember?
Turn down your speakers a little bit, I think. Just turn down your volume a little bit.
Okay. Okay, you talk. I'm going to work on this.
Hello.
Hello.
Now I'm getting bad echo.
Okay, try again.
Hello. You got a little. Yeah. Hello.
Hi. How's the echo? Is it there?
Hello. No.
Okay.
You don't sound as good, but that's okay. We have less echo.
All right.
I think. No, we still have echo. I would text Donnie. Something's going on.
Texting Donnie.
Okay. So I just muted you for a second because I don't think I'll get echo if you're muted. Okay, so let me talk about a couple of things you said. The hallucination thing that you talked about is very, very frustrating. And what I'm finding is that these models get smarter and smarter and more capable, but they still hallucinate a lot. And it's very frustrating. And I expect, oh, you're gonna be right back. I expect after 2.5 years that the hallucinations get better, and they just still seem to be there in kind of random and annoying ways. That drives me absolutely batty. The getting dependent on them is a really interesting one, because I've kind of spent my 2025 embracing that. Just go for it. Where's the producer? Look at Vicky said, smart ass. we ain't got no producer.
Settings. What do I do?
Okay.
Settings.
All right. I've spent this year really trying to just live on the mantra that I don't need to use my brain, that I want to offload as much as possible to the AI so that I can think about things at a higher level. So let me see.
Let's see.
How is your hello?
Hi.
Now, it's
Can
good.
you
Whatever
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and now I can't hear me, which is great.
Okay, well, just so that everyone is aware, all he did was the exact same thing that I've done before. I'm just telling the audience.
I'm just saying, where's the producer? The producer is Donnie, and Donnie has had his way with your machine, and it is now good.
It's now working. We need producers everywhere we go.
Exactly. So I totally get you, like feeling dependent on these things. I feel like it is a skill of the future to accept that these things are increasingly smarter than us. And I think that's a skill of the future. So I think it's okay to be dependent. Now, if they go away, it's going to suck really bad. But I don't think it means you're losing how to do what you do. It just means you're changing how you do what you do. And so let me talk about what's going on with me with AI. So I was out for a week in New York, just driving up and down the state of Jersey, going to clients and things like that. And I got a little bit disconnected from AI, and then I watched the Google I/O conference, and they launched VO3, the new video thing that generates not just video. Like there's a bunch of video tools out there, and they all do really remarkable stuff. But VO3 does full voice, full acting, full actors, full special effects, coherent people in the background. I just talked to a buddy of mine that is a fairly senior guy at Deloitte Digital, and he just said he got his guys access to VO3, and he says they're doing over a weekend what would have been like 2-3 month productions, and so that for me starts to. It's the first thing that I've seen that it is very, very obvious that industry will not be the same.
Yeah. And
then, while that's going on, and there was a bunch of other stuff that Google announced. OpenAI announces Codex, their coding agent. We've got Manus, we've got GenSpark, we've got Flowith, which is a horrible name.
Flowith.
There was one that came out today called Factory. There were 2 or 3 others. We're starting to see 5, 6, 8 of these agents where you give it a task and it just goes off and spins up other agents, and it goes off and researches the web and writes reports and writes books and just crazy, crazy stuff. All of those tools right now feel very nebulous and very kind of, you're not quite sure what to do with them. Like, what do you do with an agent? What would you have it go do? But they're getting better very, very quickly. Like GenSpark, for example, now generates images and it generates video. So if you take this multi-step process, you could now say, go make me, 10 different picture books, and then make 3 of them short films. And and you start to combine that with VO3 where these things are really, really good. And we are within spitting distance of these tools being able to do full end-to-end production, not just of movies, but of anything we can think of. And so I think it does put us in this weird place, Anne, of we are going to become so dependent on them. They're going to do everything for us. And what is that relationship? I don't know. So I'm in an unsettled place. I'm excited about the tech, but it's the first time I really saw something that an entire industry can look at what it does and go, or multiple industries, like the ad industry, the film, but I think probably ads first because they're shorter, right? And it's only doing clips right now. But if I'm a Hollywood person, I look at that and I'm like, oh, things are different, right? Things just change. It's going to be every profession is going to witness that kind of disruption.
Yeah.
So I'm in an unsettled place.
I'm in an unsettled place too. Just different reasons, but unsettled.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Oh, Vicky, by the way, that is.
No.
How did I not even know that? I didn't know that Manus had images. I've been using it this whole entire time.
Yeah.
See, it's a perfect example of like why people have said to us, well, what do you use AI for? And we're like, well, what do you not use it for? But if you don't know what to ask, you don't ask. I've never once generated an image with Manus. Silly me. But Gareth is right. We're in Willy Wonka's Wonderland, where your world is your imagination. Okay, cool. Oh, Vicky, I'll look it up.
That's great. So that's what I want to talk about this week.
Let's talk about it.
So if these tools are going to do all the stuff, then what's our job? And so here's the thing that I want you to think about this week and focus on is the music producer Rick Rubin. You know Rick Rubin, right?
Yes.
And
because of you.
He is a Grammy award-winning, multi-Grammy winning. He produced some of the early hip hop in the 90s or 80s or 90s. Famous songs. He is famously self-admittedly not a musician, not a songwriter, doesn't work the recording console. He's just a tastemaker. He's just a guy who's got an opinion. And people trust him for that. And they're trusting their careers with his opinion. He walks into the room and they're trusting their careers with his opinion. And, he says his job is to listen to a thing and just not think about the audience. He's like, screw the audience. He listens to the thing and he's like, is this something I would enjoy? Is this something I would put out there? And if the answer is yes, then it's good. And if the answer is no, then they work until they get there. He's like very confident in his creative point of view.
Yeah.
I think that becomes our job. Is we know what we want to do. We know who we want to do it for. We know what difference we want to make in the world. And then we've got all these tools that are going to do that. And hopefully we do it in a way where we've done it secure and safely. And Tracey will tell us, how we're doing it wrong, which is good. And then it's going to produce the stuff, right? And then we'll look at it and we're like, is it any good? Is that something I would want to put in the world? Like that I think becomes kind of the most valuable kind of person. People that have strong conviction in their creative point of view. And if you haven't seen it, if you go to thewayofcode.com, I think that's right. That's a book that Rick Rubin just put out in conjunction with Anthropic. And it's 82 pages of poems inspired by Lao Tzu. 82 pages with a poem on each one. And on every one is a piece of art, an interactive piece of art that he vibe coded.
Oh, wow.
And then if you go look at it, there's a little button there that says modify. And so if you click on it, it takes you over to Claude where you can modify his piece of artwork and create a variation of it. And then you can choose if you want to publish it back to the project. So he's inviting his audience to co-create with him, but he created the creative space for you to create within, right? and then you can now co-create with him. That to me feels like the future of publishing, the future of content, and just that idea of understanding what you want to do in the world, what you want to put in the world, how you want to impact people, and then just stick to those convictions. And that, I think, that becomes our job. So for me this week, AI readiness is kind of about practicing that.
Yeah. You know, what's cool is that there are a lot of people who already have that skill to, well,
they're the
to
weirdos.
have a point of,
they're the weirdos. Well, they do tend to be the weirdos. They're not rule followers, right? They're tastemakers.
They're not rule followers. They're tastemakers. And also, it's important to consider who is given space in this world to have a point of view, to have taste that matters. Like, there are a lot of people who may or may not even know if they have a point of view on things because no one has ever asked them. No one has asked them for their point of view. They probably have some killer points of view. So for some people, this is going to be a moment for them to be able to step forward. You don't have to wait to be asked for your point of view. You get to establish your point of view. That is your point of view, or like what your gut instinct is, right? This is based on your lived experience, right? It's not necessarily going to be all the stuff that AI is bringing to you. It's all the stuff that AI is bringing to you, plus, your lived experience and what you learned from your parents, and probably something to do with your gut microbiome and who knows what. And now that's what's going to be the new version of what's valued in our society. I think that
there's also something with the acceleration of capabilities. David Shapiro, I just saw this right before he came on. He posted a thing about VO3, about how good the video was. He goes, it's not quite there for full-on science fiction yet, but he goes, we're close. And he goes, I can absolutely tell you that my science fiction books are about to become series and movies. And so I think one of the other things we get to play with is not only do we get to have a creative point of view, but we don't need to be limited to a single output anymore, right? I wrote a book and I'm done. No. You could write a book, a musical, a movie, a music video, a song, right? You can do it all, right? And it's all coming from that same creative point of view. And so those people that get adept at being able to express themselves clearly in multiple venues, outputs, modalities, they're gonna be like wizards.
Yep.
And they're going to be incredibly valuable for companies, in the world.
100%.
Incredibly valuable.
So next week, is it next week that CJ Fletcher is on the show?
No, next week.
Okay,
on this show. Yeah.
So CJ Fletcher is going to be on the show next week, or in an upcoming show. And one of the women who he featured in his recent debut magazine is a woman named 𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪. And 𝗪𝗪 is a master at, when she wants to teach us something, she just comes right out of the box with multiple formats. Like, she's not just going to post it. She's also going to make Mid-Journey, images. She's also going to make a podcast. Like, I've watched her do this a number of times, and I've realized how being an effective communicator, wow, we were trying to do that through just one modality. We are trying to get our ideas into other people's brains with words coming out of our mouth boxes.
Yep.
That seems crazy now. That's the only way, right? That, like, think of, like, we're really supposed to every single one of us, be able to learn by someone saying words to our ears. Like, that's just not. And now we can do it in all these different ways. I think it puts a higher premium on starting out with an idea that's worth sharing, of course.
Yeah. Well, again, that gets back to that creative point of view. Yeah. Taste, and like, how do you want to affect people? How do you want to impact people?
Yeah. And some people will be like out there looking for ideas, right? And then there are probably some people out there who have the right amount of ideas. And they're really good ideas, whatever. And then there's people like me and you who we don't have the same respect for ideas that a lot of people would have, because we're just going to have another one in 10 seconds. So
idea Tourette's.
So our ability to discern what ideas are worth sharing in 12 different formats is the trick.
Well, but that, you know, another thing that I experience is that the amount of ideas that escape my head now is up 10x, right?
Yeah.
It used to be, if I actually had to do work to get an idea out of my head, it had to be a pretty damn good idea, at least from my point of view. And now I just like have an idea, I can put it out there, right? And sometimes those ideas are good, the ones that I thought were just throwaways, and sometimes the big ones were not as good. So it gives us a bit more nimbleness with the point of view. But again, it gets back to what you said, like, what's your intent? Right? Be intentional is one of the things we say in content evolution. Be intentional. Like, what's your intent? What are you trying to accomplish? And then when the AI generates its stuff, it either matches that vision or not. And having the guts to go, nope, that's not it. And just be willing to throw it out and throw it out and throw it out until you get it. There's the art. That's art.
Can I do, how many minutes? Do I have like 2 minutes to tell a story?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we gotta go quick. We'll have to go quick on our little ads for our communities.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is just this is a non sequitur, but it's a little bit of something for everyone here. What is everything is a non sequitur. So therefore there are no non sequiturs. But I was listening to a podcast today. There's a woman named Amy Porterfield, and some people will recognize that name. She is a goddess of e-commerce, specifically digital courses and digital courses. And she's a juggernaut. I mean, she's multi-million-dollar, a year company. She's been in business for 16 years. She's always, I've listened to over 700 episodes of her podcast.
Wow.
Live, Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Amy Porterfield, think the world of her. And her one thing that she always said was, don't come up with multiple good ideas. One idea. You have one idea. You have your one offer. You refine it. You make it perfect. And you just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. However, last year, she started using AI.
Did it blow her world up?
It blew her whole world up. And now, instead of having one avatar, she always swore she had one avatar. It's the woman. She's starting to think that she might not want to work 9 to 5 anymore, and she wants to launch a course. That is it. She started talking to AI about her one avatar, and she discovered that she actually had more avatars, but she was telling herself she only had. Well, now this woman who's been all about, she's built she made a lot of people, right? She's ginormous, larger than life. And she is not ADHD. Oh, wait, does she say she is though, Vicki? I don't think she is. But the fact that Amy Porterfield had a couple conversations with AI and changed and blew up her whole, proven, highly successful, well-documented books, blah, 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 business model. And now she gets to, right? She gets to, and she's filled with joy. She gets to serve 4 different ICPs now, right?
There you go.
It's like, yeah.
No,
talk to your AI.
It's good. Talk to your AI. No, listen, everything is going to transform. People that are committed to one idea are going to have many. People that are committed to many ideas are going to have one. I feel like everything's going to transform. Anyway, tell them about She Leads.
So She Leads AI. Our mission is to unite accomplished women to advance AI for global prosperity. And we do that we have an academy, we have a consulting agency, we have a community, which is called the She Leads AI Society. And we have public affairs and policy. Our She Leads AI Society it's a group of women, and I want all of you to come and check us out on a Saturday sometime. So we have social Saturdays. Anyone can come. Check us out, see what it's like from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturdays, Pacific time. We hang out, we talk about kind of conversations like Kyle and I are having right now. What's going on that's weird, what's blowing our mind, what are we worried about, what are we excited about, what's working for us, what's not working for us. And then we learn from each other in our member jams all week long. So
beautiful.
And we have a conference in October that I'm excited about.
Yes, you and I need to talk about that. Okay.
Yes.
AI Salon. I put a new URL here because our URL our card got compromised in the salon.
Oh, no.
And so the salon.ai, it might be working now, but I think we're okay. But go to aisalon.mn.co, and that's the community site for the AI salon. Community of about 3,000 AI optimists. If you're not part of it, you should be a part of it. It's amazing people. It's where Ann and I met. You should also know that we've been around for 2.5 years. We launched the week after ChatGPT launched. And this Sunday, June 1st, we're kicking off the AI Salon Mastermind, which is a subscription, sort of a higher level, people that want to step up their game. It's a higher level subscription. And we've got a founding member special for all of 2025. So super excited about it. So go check that out and just get in the community. It's a great community. Awesome. Let's bring up our guest of honor. Tracey, the safety lady Hawkins. I feel like it's like a boxing announcer. Tracey, the safety lady. How are you?
Hi. I'm excited. I'm a little out of my element, but I am so excited to get to see you two again, to get to talk to you and listen to your conversations. I love it.
Fantastic.
Tracey, do not delay. Tell the nice people immediately your background, what got you into safety, how you've become, like how you've kind of snuck into people's lives as the benevolent safety lady that you are.
Okay, so I have been in the safety business since 1995, so 30 years this year. I get to travel the country. I get to speak virtually in person. I teach people to live and to work safely. I started out just doing regular safety, how to be aware and alert when you're out and about, trusting your instinct, how to secure your home DIY, safety on the road. So I would do those workshops all over. Then I started talking to real estate agents. I'm a former agent. My twin sister is still an agent. We got our licenses together. So the U.S. Department of Labor considers real estate sales and leasing a high-risk hazardous occupation. So I started talking to agents how to remove the risk and still build your business, then home health workers. And then November 2022 happened. Before that, I always talked about cybersecurity. Well, what happened then? I mean, it changed everyone's life. I know all three of ours for sure, but a lot of people's lives. And before that, I had built cybersecurity into my presentation. So I was already talking about the two-factor authentication, already talking about no more passwords, do pass keys, pass phrases. So I was already talking about that. And then when ChatGPT came out, so many of us lost our minds. But I had to figure out, how does this incorporate with what I am doing? And it's just so obvious. Anyone who touches any kind of device, you're at risk of being hacked, of having your identity stolen, of being victimized. So I had to make that into my programs. And so now I get the honor of traveling the country. I even created content for Canada about generative AI, but I can't be doom and gloom. So I have to not only talk about the dangers, but I talk about the ways to use it. And like both of you, I'm using it every single day of my life. I can't imagine life without it. So I'm using it to create content, to write books, to create this little signs that I've started doing. I'm using it for almost everything. So what I do is I'm an advocate. I'm telling everyone, I want you all to use it. It scares me. The schools are saying we don't want our students using it, so they're banning it. So I've got an opportunity to go to schools and say, you can use it, and here's how to do it in a safe way. So bottom line, I am now teaching people to use AI, generative AI, in a positive way. And then I'm also saying, here's how to use it to protect data. And then the big part is here's how cyber criminals are using it to target you, and here's how to protect yourself. So that's how I got here.
Ooh. Fantastic. Why don't you give us, I don't know, I mean, you do this all the time, so you probably have the presentation in your head, but why don't you give us sort of a, I don't know, top 3, top 5, like things we should know? Like what are things, you've got an audience here that very possibly may have seen you at AI Festivus, but also, do use these tools a lot for the most part. So tell us the things that we should be paying attention to, like what are the biggies?
Okay, and you brought it up, Kyle. You talked about hallucinations. And what you're saying is hallucinations should be better by now. Let me tell you, why they're not, and why they're getting worse. Part of what I do, again, is to teach people to use it. And I tell people, if you create content, you can't believe what you read. You must fact check everything. So if you go back to the beginning, where did these tools get their information? It's what we put into it. So I have to talk about privacy. Anything you put in it, it is not private. So if you're uploading client files and creating reports and marketing plans, the whole world now knows. So what I say is to redact any personal identifiable information. I just got a report back, an MRI report, and it's like, what does this mean in English? Oh, I can upload it to ChatGPT and it will tell me.
Right.
But then I say, when I see people doing that, it's like, time out. Redact your personal information first, then upload it, and then it can be, of course, it can tell you, here's a diet to help solve that problem. Here are exercises you can do. So you can use it, but use it safely. So redact personal information. We see the headlines, Samsung employee accidentally exposed proprietary information. You don't want to be that one person. So number one, understand there's no such thing as privacy, so data protection. Number two, let's get back to hallucinations. So the information that's in the tools is what we're teaching it. What we're putting in there is how it's learning. So anything that you see, they found it on the internet, or the tools found it on the internet. So think about this, and this is going to sound kind of sort of mean, but I'm sorry. What if people who are less than smart, who are less than intelligent, are using the tools and they're putting in bad, incorrect, false information? So now the tools are learning all of this bad, false information, and it's regurgitating it. So Kyle, that's why I don't know how you expect it to get better, because and I just read an article about this a couple of weeks ago. So if it's learning all of this bad, incorrect stuff, that's what it's going to spit back out at us. So no matter what, I anticipate that you're always going to have to fact check everything, always going forward. So those are top two. Another one is beware the deepfake. And I am surprised. I get to talk to thousands every year, and I get to talk about this topic. This is like my popular topic. I had a class recently where one of the people said, I've never heard of this deepfake thing. It's like, what? Because it's on the news. We're talking about it all the time. She had never heard of a deepfake. So everyone needs to be educated on deepfakes. Part of my presentation is we do show and tell. And I guarantee you, Ann and Kyle, that people are sitting there with their mouths open and their eyes are even bigger. Because what I do is I say, look at this picture. Is it real or is it a deepfake? And then oftentimes they can't tell.
Yeah.
So I have to tell them, here's how you know if it's a deepfake picture or image. You know, it hasn't quite gotten the limbs right. So it may be too many fingers, not enough fingers, no fingers at all. That's one tell. But at some point, it's going to get better. And then deepfake videos. I am seeing news stories where these videos, people are going online, just like what we're doing here. You could be talking to a deepfake. So the question is, how do you know? Yeah. So there are things you can do. You can ask it to raise his hand, put his hand in front of his face, ask questions off the cuff, but you still have to be extra careful because people have been getting scammed because they don't know to question it. So if the video looks a little shaky, then the deepfake operator is saying, oh, it's a reception issue. So you may be talking to a deepfake. That's the Tokyo story. In Tokyo, there was an employee who was on a Zoom with a virtual call with his executive staff, and someone said, wire a series of $25 million. He did it. Turns out that every single person on that screen was a video deep fake. That money is not coming back. You all know the grandparent scam back in the olden days, even before AI, where someone would call a grandparent and say, hey, grandma, grandpa, send me money. I'm in jail or I'm in the hospital, but don't tell mom. And they would do it.
Right.
Think about a voice deep fake. All they need is 3 seconds of voice. They can duplicate your voice exactly. So Kyle, you can call Ann and you can say, hey, I need you to wire this money in. Let's cover something. And Ann's hearing Kyle's voice, not even questioning it and doing it.
Yeah.
Not after today, because now you know you need to question everything. And I say, get a code word. So I think, Kyle, those would be the top 3. Recognize deepfakes, data privacy, and don't believe anything that you see and read.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Have you been paying attention at all to the proof of personhood technology, like World ID?
I've seen some of it as it relates to real life stories. What do you know?
Well, just that they're basically using biometric data and basically saying, you know, you have to sort of verify yourself in person with your eyeball, and then but once you're in the database, you're verified as unique against all the other people in the database. And now they're building applications where you can't have robots. It's everyone on the network is using one of these things. So it feels to me like maybe not this year, but probably next year, these things get so good, the deep fakes get so good that I think there's going to be a demand for some sort of system that says, I want to know that I'm talking to a person, right? And so I'm just that feels like it's going to be important, soon.
It has to be. It has to be, because right now AI detectors don't work. They're not 100% reliable. You see the headlines of college students or high school students getting in trouble because the detector says it's written with AI, and it's not. So those are not reliable at all. And then to go back to what you said, in real life, until that technology becomes available, if you're in a transaction, any kind of transaction, it could be a real estate transaction, it could even be a Facebook marketplace transaction. If someone is saying, I can't meet you in real life, or I can't talk on the phone, I have a hearing issue, so let's just communicate by text, or God forbid, WhatsApp, then the red flag should be raised. Because typically they don't want you on the phone. They will not show up in real life, and they're only communicating by text. That could very well be a scam or a deep fake. So just like you said, there must be an in-person meeting. And if that's not possible, someone's out of town, then that's when we go to the video meetings. And then now we know that the cyber criminals are using the videos for deepfake. So now we must look, here's how you prove life during the video. So that's where you have them raise their hands, have them answer a question off the cuff, or even putting their hand in front of their face, or just something, showing me your ID, right next to your face, let me look at it. You must request proof of life to make sure what we're looking at or who we're talking to is a real person, because more than likely it is not. I don't want people to be paranoid. That's why I give information. So I'm saying learn what to look out for. So hopefully after today, you will question everything.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, just be vigilant. I remember after your last talk, I was like, okay, I just got to start paying attention. It's like when you walk in the streets in New York City, you just got to be aware. Just be aware of, someone creeping up on you,
Right. And it's not paranoia. People, I used to have a retail store. When I first started out, I had a safety store. So I had like pepper spray, home alarms, car alarms. And people say, oh, this is a store for paranoid people. It's like, no. This is a store for educated people, aware people, because if you know what to look out for, you're not living in fear. Because now if someone calls you and they're asking for money or personal information and it doesn't seem right, now you know that this could be a deep fake. So you're not afraid to answer the phone. You know how to handle it. And the one thing I say for businesses and for families is have a code word. Have a code word in your business. Have a code word with your vendors. What if your vendor calls and say, hey, you haven't paid your invoice. I need you to pay it right now, or we're going to suspend your terms. You're listening to the voice of your salesperson. You know them. They've sent you this email and it looks legitimate. So you're tempted to pay it. And I'm saying time out, because now cyber criminals are using AI to produce these documents, whether it's a deed, invoice, the emails, the business email compromise, they're emailing you, and it's no longer broken English, it's no longer poorly written. Now it is grammatically correct. So you're looking at an email from someone you're getting a phone call, and then someone's asking you to pay. Time out. Pause, stop, and think before you act. And then again, establish a code word. If they don't know the code word, hang up immediately. No conversation, no trying to convince you, hang up. And that goes for family. So I say everyone have the conversation with your families, not just the seniors, for young people, for anyone in your family. If you get a call from me asking for money or asking for information, it doesn't seem right. If I don't know the code word, hang up, and then call on a number that you know is theirs, not what's contained in a text or an email.
Yeah, and there are enough people not aware of what AI can do that like they used to prey on the ignorant, right? Like, I don't know how to use technology, so I'm going to prey on that. And now it's a similar sort of play. They're playing on the ignorant of not aware that AI could possibly be just like your daughter or your son or your grandmother. But yeah, it can. Okay, so 3 questions for you. So these are the 3 questions we ask all of our guests. So the first one And there's no wrong answers here. You just go. You just go. You have fun with it. First question: what was the tipping point where you knew you had to go all in on AI, and what's happened since?
Probably the thing that moved me the most is I want to say it happened last year. So AI had been around a while, but I saw a news story about a senior citizen who lost their life savings, lost everything. And so they were fooled. A voice deepfake, they just didn't know better. And if you think about those romance scams before AI, it was already heartbreaking, right? And then I am looking at, after I saw that one news story, it's like, let me Google grandparent scam or romance scam. Heartbreaking to see people who believe, they just believed it, and then they thought they were doing everything right. You know, this is the real voice, this is the real image. They thought they were doing everything right, and they lost their retirement money, their life savings. And then so I'm thinking of this 70, 80-year-old person who now has to go back to work. That broke my heart. And it's like, I need to do whatever I can to keep that kind of heartbreak, not just for seniors, but just people. You see businesses that lose their money. They made a payment. How about that phone call, the CEO phone call, where the executive got a phone call from the CEO and said, I need you to wire $242,000. That employee did it. Yeah. And it was a voice deepfake. So imagine that one person who made that one mistake. So awareness is my goal. That's why I'm determined to speak whenever and wherever I can, just to raise awareness.
That's great. Yeah. And how has your message changed post AI versus pre? Like what has shifted, if anything?
Now I have. At first, I kind of built everything around, pause, stop and think before you react, before you do anything. But then it's all around us. So now I'm just telling people just a simple sentence. You can no longer believe what you see, what you hear, and what you read. All of that is done. It's not coming back. No such thing anymore. Reading an article online and believing it at full face. No more getting a phone call, believing what you hear. None of that. And that's kind of sad. But that's our reality now, because just as excited as we are to use these tools and to find out ways to use them in a wonderful way, how to be more productive, how to increase our bottom lines. Cyber criminals wake up every day just like we are, and they're thinking, how can I use these tools to scam and defraud someone? They don't care who it is. And then they're able to use the tools to amplify. Now they're doing it at scale. So they can just send out one email to tons of people, and they're using AI to fuel it. So people are thinking, I'm too little, I'm too small, I don't have enough money, they don't want me, who am I? Every single person counts. Even if they get $100 from you, if they don't have to work hard, they're getting $100 from a whole lot of other people who don't know better. So that's why I don't know how to shake the whole entire world up and say, listen to me. So that's why I have to couch it with business building. And for businesses, I just did a program for over 800 people for a financial institution, a bank. And I had to tell them, be you. Use the tools. They have governance policy. Thank God they have a committee. So they're slowly getting into it. But I still have to say, you can use the tools. Yes, you can. You can use it to produce content. You can use it to clear bottlenecks and increase workflows to be productive. Yes, do that. And I have to build that into my classes. So I'm telling you how to build your business. And then families, I'm telling you how to use AI to take a picture of that, the ingredients, and create your own recipe. And I'm telling you how to do it in your personal life. But then overall, I just need for people just to pay attention and don't be the headline. Don't be the next headline. All it takes is one person clicking one link to just blow up either a whole family or a whole business. So pay attention. I'm not fear mongering. Like you said, I like how you said that in your introduction. I am not doing that. I want you to use the tools, but I need you to do it in a safe way.
Beautiful.
Yeah. This new era of not being able to, I shouldn't say new era, but even intensifying, acceptance that we can't believe anything we see, hear, or read. There is some grief in that. I mean, that's sad and true, and sad and true, right? It's both. AI is both of these things. I'm glad that you're the one who's delivering the, well, first of all, everybody should have you come to their meetings and their trainings and, their AI councils, and get this information out into organizations like across the board. Everybody needs to know the things that you're sharing. One of the things that we want to ask everybody who we bring on the show is, because you have such deep expertise in this safety field, what are some of the trends you're paying attention to that you think everybody else should be paying attention to from your point of view as a safety expert?
I am so glad you asked that question. Okay, so I like to have fun. I'm not, like you said, I'm not the techie person, but I'm knowledgeable in that area. But here's what I see that is scaring me to pieces, and even experts are doing it. Have you guys seen where people are, what's it called, Ghibli, where they're uploading their pictures and then you see them on the doll box, like a Barbie doll box?
Yeah.
So everybody's doing that, and it is, my goodness, that's fun, right? Time out. You're uploading your face, your images to an AI tool. How are they reusing it? Can they reuse it for other things? What are the data privacy issues? They're telling you on there, we may use it to promote, or we may use it in other ways. So you're saying, I want this so bad, I'm just going to click yes, 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 and then get my doll picture or get my picture. And then your facial recognition is a big deal. Like you said, biometric. So right now, let's talk a little bit about facial recognition and biometric. It's a good thing. When you're logging into your account, if you require a thumbprint, I happen to have a twin sister. I use my thumbprint to get into my phone. My sister cannot log on with her thumbprint. So I know a criminal will not be able to log in. Facial recognition, fabulous for that purpose. So here we are using that same technology, and we're having fun with it. We're uploading our picture so that we can see our face on a doll and all of the things to go along with it. And we're not thinking about who has access to that information. Can they misuse our image? And there's so many tools out there, thousands upon thousands of AI tools. We know the big ones. So I typically say stick to the big ones because there's more accountability there. They have reputations like the Geminis and the Chats, Midjourneys, and other reputable tools. But what if Johnny in the basement over there is making an AI tool that will put your face on a Barbie doll, and then you're just uploading your picture? And what if Johnny is not reputable, and now he's got your picture and he's putting your face on bodies that are doing inappropriate things or misusing it? So I love the question. I want you all to have fun, but if you're going to do that, then just look at the privacy policy of the AI tool that you're going to use. Make sure they're reputable. Look at the reviews. Any AI tool, you must look at reviews. That way, if something goes wrong, everyone's lined up to say what's wrong, right? So look at the reviews. That's where you're going to spot a lot of issues, and just make sure that the tool is using your image in a proper way, and then delete your image. Make sure it will allow you to delete your image once you've gotten your drawing or your cute little picture and you've shared it with the world. Now delete it. So make sure you can do that. So the trend of uploading your video, a lot of to creating video, I'm going to do it. We're all going to do it, but just read the rules. The training or the faceless videos, and we're uploading a lot of pictures so that we create a video of ourselves. Go ahead and do it, but do it with caution and make sure it's a reputable tool, and see how your image can be used, and then find out if you can delete it after you get what you need from it.
Yep. That's great. That's
great. That's scary. Like the ship has sailed on so many of the things that you already said. Like, I mean, I don't know, Kyle might not bring it up, but he took one of my images and turned me into going on a date with this Willem Dafoe guy. We were in Central Park, and I did not like my date with him, evidently. So then Kyle made a video of me smoking a cigarette.
I saw that.
Outside the motel.
He's the one. He's the one you got to be looking out for. Is the Kyle Shannon, these ne'er-do-wells.
I'm the evil
You're
one.
The problem.
Yeah,
you're the problem.
Right, but for people, we've all done it. I've done some things, but all I say is just we need to, it's fun. We need to keep having fun. Just do it, just make sure everything's in order and just be alert and aware and continue doing it, continue having fun. Like I said, I will be doing the same thing, but I'll do my homework up front and make sure the tool is okay and that I can delete it. But I don't want anyone to feel bad because there's a lot we didn't know. And then as we go along, we learn as we go and we just do better when we know better. So no one should feel bad.
Yeah, no.
Not even Kyle.
I don't
Not
feel
even
bad.
Kyle. Are you sure? Because I want Kyle to feel bad. That's the point of this podcast. We forgot to tell you.
Yeah, so it's all slight passive aggressive ways to get me to. Okay, question. Last question. What does AI readiness mean to you, and what would you say to someone just starting out with this AI stuff?
AI readiness. It just opens up possibilities. And I heard you all talking about the lady up front about who could, she said, focus and do one thing and one thing only and do it well. And then she learned about AI. So that's me. I learned about AI. I've written a few books, okay? ChatGPT and I have co-authored some books. And it's one I always give away. It's a download that I give away for every one of my classes. It's about cybersecurity. And I've written more. And so now I've become, I call myself, I live in draft mode because every time I think of something, I'm going to ChatGPT is my fave right now. I like Gemini and I just discovered Gamma and my head will explode. But anyway, so I get into the tool and I say, here is an idea. Here's something that I read. I want to create a class or an article. And then so it does it and it does it well. And then now I have a whole big long list of things that I'm in draft mode that I need to execute. So AI readiness means is basically moving it to the next step. So all of these draft ideas need to now come to life and not just sit on them because I will continuously be coming up with different ideas. And I did that. What is that? Notebook LM did that podcast. I have my own podcast. And so I've done my own podcast and I did that. It's like, wow. So all of these things, AI readiness means is, and here's what I would tell people is to pick 1, 2, maybe 3 tools, get to know them, learn how to use them and just kind of go in on them. Because if you do what I did in the beginning, I was trying to create content. I would see what chat would say, then I would see what Gemini would say, then I would see what Copilot would say, and then I would go between which is best. And I wasted so much time. So the time advantage was gone. And then so find out which tool works best for whatever reason. Chat is great for certain things. Google, the Gemini research, the deep research is mind-blowing. So figure out which tool you will use for what, and then focus in on that. And then finally, here's what I'm learning. Bring it to fruition. Stop living in draft mode. Stop starting projects, getting excited and starting them. Bring it to fruition. Execute. Get it done. So that's what I would say. Being ready to move it to the next step and executing. That's what I'd say.
Beautiful.
I love, like you said, two things that are so different and they're so true at the same time. One is living in draft mode and like the beauty of us being able to do that. We've got these like very high potential ideas that are well vetted, that we've spent time on, that we've used the wisdom of the ages to get it to a point. It doesn't mean that we have to launch that one, right? It might be the next one, but at some point in time, we have to remind ourselves, right? Because we talk about playing, right? We got to play. And also we have to launch, we have to implement, we have to actually do the things. And for all of us who are inside the AI bubble, like doubling down on this now, I think would be a real service to our colleagues who are still on the sidelines. If you have something to share, if you heard Tracey talk about a code word, go share it with other people. This is what we have the honor and privilege of being able to do. We've had the chance to learn all these AI technologies, right? Like we have access to the hardware, the software, the AI companies. We have time, even if it's because we don't sleep anymore. We have the opportunity to do this. Not everybody does. Yeah. We're in the soup. So now we get to share what we're learning with other people. And Tracey, you're the very best reminder of that I could have had today. We will take what you have shared with us and share it with the world.
Can I wind up with one thing?
Absolutely.
Please do.
I was here because you originally said something about psychological safety. And then I had an opportunity for the, I know that's one of the things that excites me. a couple of years ago, the DC Department of Transportation said, Tracey, come in, talk to our people about psychological safety. They had like 1,100 field force, about 132 management. It was at the end of the pandemic and everybody was about to go back to work. So let me define it really quickly, and then let me tell you how it relates to AI. So psychological safety means that your people, your family, anyone around you feels comfortable speaking up, sharing ideas, criticizing, sharing concerns without fear of retaliation, retribution, or punishment. So people are not afraid to speak up because you have a psychological safe environment. So that's at home, that's at work. And so that way that will encourage innovation. So if someone's excited, they have an idea, they're not afraid that their idea is going to get shot down. It's stupid. If someone has a concern, let's say AI in the workplace. I talked to a big bank the other day, and some of the people are thinking, oh my God, AI is going to replace us. I'm not on board. So even though the bank is going to start implementing AI, those people are going to resist it. They're not going to use it, or they're going to use it wrong because they're afraid it's going to replace them. Yep. If the institution, the organization has psychological safety training, and that's something I love doing, then their people will say, hey, boss, I'm concerned about this. I think it's going to replace my job. And they're not scared about being retaliated against or punished or fired because they know that their management wants to hear it. And the management will actually listen, hear it, thank them for saying it, and saying, here's why you don't have to worry. Let's talk about it. So having a psychologically safe environment in the age of AI means encouraging people to speak up, good, bad, share ideas, not punishing them and not being negative, but to actually hear them and to act upon it. So psychological safety is key normally, but even more so in the AI world.
100%. 100%. I'm so glad you brought that up. No one's going to tell their bosses that they're using AI until they are darn sure they're not going to get in trouble. And then they're going to be waiting for somebody to tell them how they can and can't so that they can follow the rules. And especially women, we're raised to be rules followers, right? Mm-hmm. So we're like, we're afraid of it as a result. But if our organizations can create that, like you said, psychological safety so that this is part of the everyday conversation, we're going to be in a much better space. I've met IT directors who are in charge of the AI rollouts who have moral challenges with AI, but now it's their job, right? And they can't talk about it. They tell me.
And then the women are following the rules, and then the guys are renegades. They're just taking a chance. They're doing it. And sometimes it may blow up in their face, or sometimes it may work out well. But the key is people should feel comfortable talking about any concerns. If you accidentally click a link, instead of being afraid to tell anybody because maybe no one will know, you should feel comfortable speaking up because it may be malware, and you try to give someone a heads up and let them know in advance. So psychological safety is so important, especially in the AI era. So that's what I preach. Make it an environment where people are comfortable sharing.
Beautiful. Well, with that, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for your enthusiasm. I love your little frame, all the goodies you got around you. It looks great. But have a fantastic evening.
How can
I'm in a hotel room, guys.
How can people get a hold of you? What's the best way for people to track you down?
I hate to say that this sounds horrible, but someone said, tell people to search Tracey the Safety Lady, Tracey, or you can look at my company. There it is, Safety and Security Source, Tracey the Safety Lady. I'm on LinkedIn. Request that AI ebook that Chat and I co-work for you all, and it just talks about what you need to know. It's a free handout, it's a free PDF, so request that, and some of the other books that I've written. And I'm starting to use AI to sell these signs, smile, you're on camera, or don't ring my doorbell signs, and all that good stuff.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Tracey.
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tracey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.